It started out just like any other day. I finished the last soggy pieces of my cereal from my bowl full of milk. I always pour too much. But as I grabbed my coat and ran out the door, I couldn't believe my eyes. The clouds were a dark shade of gray. Typical bad weather. But the clouds, they were rotating, and there were small points of green and yellow light. Well, you know me. I ignored that and walked to the bus stop. But as I aimlessly walked toward the bus, which had just arrived, a giant beam of light-green light shot from the clouds. From what I remember, the beam kind of just swallowed me up. And, well, here I am, locked inside what I think is a human freezer, on board an alien spacecraft. How do I know that? It's not hard when you hear an odd nasally voice saying,
"Flagship weaponry at full capacity. Ready to test target."
Then, all of a sudden, my train of thought was interrupted when I heard a ghastly grinding sound somewhere below me. Suddenly, to my surprise, the locked door to my freeze chamber opened. I tumbled onto the ground, a crumpled heap. When I looked up, I could see two unnaturally slender men without a trace of emotion. Actually, they looked like they had no trace of independent thought. "Where am I?" asked. Finally, one of the men moved. He pulled out a sharp object I immediately recognized as an injection. I was on the verge of tackling those creeps, but what I thought were throwing stars hit the necks of the men who had cornered me. Very much to my surprise, sparks flew off of the electrical conductors on contact. My best friend Joey stood in the open doorway that led out into the primary corridor.
Took me long enough to find you.
"The throwing stars?" I said inquisitively.
"Oh yeah," he replied awkwardly. "About that. I keep them in case a bully or a mugger comes around, but that's not the point. Okay, we have to get to the control room and shut the flagship down. Follow me."
"You watch too much Star Trek," I said. We ran along several maze-like corridors, dodging taser blasts from the androids that were tailing us. After what seemed like forever, we finally came to a door that, according to Joey, was magnetically sealed. I was so frustrated I kicked the door. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a keypad appeared adjacent to the door.
"Step aside," Joey said. "I have a knack for this."
Joey seemed oddly calm. Then, all of a sudden, Joey yelled at the top of his lungs and threw one of his throwing stars. The door opened and I saw exactly what I expected. There were 20 or 30 androids carrying their ridiculous tasers. Everything froze. All of the androids stopped what they were doing and wheeled around to face us. Then, there was a zing and an explosion of white light. When I woke up, there was rubble to the right of me and Joey to the left. Everything was peaceful, even with the pavement burning. Then I turned to Joey and said, "Joey, that was fun." With that being said, we got up and walked to school.